Once upon a time, in a tiny, bustling city, the hare challenged the tortoise to a race. The hare was confident it would win easily, while the tortoise, calm and steady, accepted the challenge without hesitation. The race began, and with a flash, the hare zoomed ahead, its feet barely touching the ground. The tortoise, however, took slow and careful steps, determined to move forward at its own pace. As the hare raced through the city streets, it saw a giant billboard flashing with bright lights. Curious, it stopped to check its phone, distracted by the endless notifications. Meanwhile, the tortoise kept moving forward, crossing a little bridge over a massive highway, unaware of the hare's delay. Soon, the hare, feeling exhausted from all the distractions, decided to take a nap under a tree in the park. It was sure that by the time it woke up, the tortoise would still be far behind. But the tortoise, steady as always, passed the sleeping hare without even looking back. It focused on the road ahead, carefully avoiding puddles and obstacles along the way. The tiny city streets were busy with pedestrians and cars, but nothing could distract the determined tortoise. The hare eventually woke up, stretched, and saw the tortoise far ahead. With a burst of energy, it dashed forward, weaving through the bustling streets, determined to catch up. But the tortoise didn't hurry. It simply continued its steady pace, knowing that the race was not about speed, but about perseverance. As the finish line came into view, the tortoise was already there, crossing it slowly and steadily. The hare was still rushing in the distance, its energy almost gone. The crowd cheered for the tortoise, who had won the race, not through speed, but through patience. The hare, out of breath and surprised, reached the finish line only to see the tortoise holding a tiny trophy. It had learned an important lesson that day sometimes. The fastest way isn't the best way. The tortoise smiled kindly at the hare and offered some advice. It's not about rushing. It's about taking your time and focusing on the journey. Patience is the key to success. The hare, now humbled, nodded and thanked the tortoise for the lesson. From that day on, the hare and the tortoise became good friends. Together, they enjoyed many more peaceful races, but this time, they ran side by side. They appreciated the journey rather than competing for the finish line. And so, in their tiny world filled with big dreams and even bigger lessons, the tortoise and the hare lived happily ever after. They both knew that sometimes the slow and steady path leads to the greatest victory of all. And every day, they reminded each other that patience truly is the key to success.